Welcome to the Deep Dive, your express route to becoming truly well-informed. We take a stack of sources, articles, research, our own notes, basically everything, and we extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight.
And hopefully add just enough humor and, surprising facts to keep you hooked.
Exactly. Today, we're embarking on a journey into ancient wisdom, specifically a really intriguing tale from the Panchatantra.
The Panchatantra, yeah, for those maybe not familiar, it's this incredible collection of Indian philosophical stories, fables, really, just renowned for their timeless lessons on human nature, moral conduct, all that good stuff.
Right. And this particular narrative, well, it's a really profound exploration of what it means to be human, the pervasive power of our environment.
Oh, absolutely. And that incredibly rare strength of genuine individuality. It's a story that, even though it's ancient, it feels remarkably relevant today, with all the pressures and influences shaping our lives right now.
Couldn't agree more. So our mission today is to really unpack the story of the king's dreams. We'll follow this series of mysterious visions plaguing a desperate sovereign. Then we meet this seemingly simple woodcutter, kind of down on his luck.
Right.
And finally, this wise, really enigmatic bird.
The talking bird, yeah. Can't forget the talking bird.
Definitely not. And together, we'll peel back the layers of meaning behind their interactions, trying to uncover what it truly means to be faithful to yourself in a world that's constantly trying to shape us, or sometimes even warp who we are.
And this isn't just some dusty old fable for, pure entertainment value. As we dig into the core of this story, you'll find it acts as this powerful mirror, offering really surprising insights that might just change how you perceive your own actions, maybe your underlying motivations, and those subtle, often unconscious influences that surround you every single day. It's definitely poised to spark some real aha moments, I think.
I think so too. Okay, let's dive into section 1, the first enigma of Fox in the throne room.
Good starting point.
So let's begin with this initial mystery, because it really sets the stage masterfully for everything else. The story opens with a sovereign, a king, who finds his sleep really profoundly troubled by these very peculiar dreams.
Right. And the first one, the tale calls it an enigmatic dream.
Yeah. He's there, seated on his, richly adorned throne, surrounded by plush carpets in his grand throne room, maybe feeling the weight of the kingdom, all that responsibility.
And then, boom, suddenly a fox appears.
Just pops up.
Yeah, not just any fox, though. It's running frantically back and forth inside the throne room, darting into shadows, reappearing, just this constant unsettling movement.
That would be unsettling.
Totally. And the king, he dreams of this fox all night long. It leaves this deep, almost haunting impression. So he wakes up completely intrigued, baffled, wondering what on earth this bizarre visit means. He feels compelled to understand it.
Naturally. A king in that situation, especially with a dream so persistent, you'd seek answers, right? From the wisest people you know.
Exactly. So he summons all the gurus and diviners of the kingdom. You can almost picture it, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
This whole procession of so-called wise men, each trying to sound more profound than the last.
But ultimately, kind of useless.
Pretty much. It's a bit like, modern-day consultants sometimes.
Yeah.
Lots of jargon, maybe not much substance.
Right.
And the narrative points out their interpretations were more absurd than the last, which says a lot about the advice the king was getting.
So he wasn't buying it?
Not at all. He dismisses them all. Says firmly, "None of you know the real meaning of my dream." And his anguish, this burning desire to understand, it drives him to a pretty drastic measure.
Which is?
He issues a proclamation throughout the entire kingdom, a royal decree, announcing a substantial reward.
The reward.
Yep, a substantial reward for anyone who could decipher his vision.
And what was the reward? Let me guess.
Gold.
You got it. A whole bag of gold coins for anyone, absolutely anyone who could explain the dream.
Wow. Okay, that's a serious incentive. And this is where our next character comes in, right? Exactly. Enter the woodcutter. We're introduced to this very poor woodcutter, living a truly miserable life. His shack is falling apart. He's constantly struggling just to get by.
A classic underdog figure.
Totally. And when he sees this proclamation, it just ignites this little flicker of desperate hope. He's sitting there, on a log maybe, thinking, wow, how good would it be if I knew the meaning of the king's dream? How much would that help me live, a more dignified life?
You can feel his desperation.
Yeah, it's palpable. And it's a classic folktale setup, right? The humble, struggling person gets this unexpected, almost miraculous
But
chance.
here's where it gets weird. Or maybe magical.
Definitely fascinating. While he's lost in these thoughts, something truly astonishing happens. A beautiful, colorful bird lands nearby on a branch.
Oh, okay.
And get this, the bird speaks to him.
Whoa, okay. Talking bird.
Talking bird.
Yeah.
And it asks him directly, would you like to know the meaning of the king's dream?
I mean, imagine the woodcutter's face. Just utter shock.
Right. He asked, but you speak. Almost can't believe his ears.
And the bird's response.
Even more intriguing. Not only do I speak, but I know the meaning. And if we can come to an agreement, I will tell you.
Ah, there's the catch.
An agreement.
Always a condition, isn't there? The bird's requirement. The woodcutter has to agree to split that bag of gold coins with it.
So share the reward. What does the woodcutter say? He's desperate.
He doesn't hesitate. Not for a second. His rationale is immediate. Half a bag of gold coins is better than no bag of gold coins. He agrees right there on the spot.
Driven by poverty, right. Sets up what's coming next, maybe.
Absolutely. That immediate acceptance, fueled by desperation, it really lays the groundwork for the moral compromises ahead. So the bird tells him the meaning.
Okay, what's the interpretation of the fox?
The bird reveals. The fox running back and forth means that the atmosphere of the kingdom is covered in treason, that the very air of the kingdom is impregnated with treason.
Whoa, heavy.
Yeah. Tells him the king should beware because treason hangs in the air. Take care not to be betrayed. Wow. What a powerful, almost chilling message.
So the woodcutter, he must be thrilled, right? He's got the answer.
Incredibly happy. He rushes to the king, delivers the explanation.
And the king, what's his reaction?
Extremely pleased, because it exactly matches his perception, his own suspicions. It confirms this feeling he already had, this undercurrent of disloyalty maybe in his court.
So it clicked immediately.
Yeah.
Validated his gut feeling.
Precisely. So he hands over the full bag of gold coins to the woodcutter.
The full bag. Okay, and this is where the story takes that pivotal turn, right?
Yeah.
We see the woodcutter's true colors start to show.
Yes, exactly. This is his moment of truth. He's walking home, clutching that gold, and this deceitful internal monologue starts up.
Oh.
He starts questioning, what would a tiny bird barely the size of a gold coin even do with this gold?
Rationalization station, here we come.
Full speed ahead. His thinking is swift, totally self-serving. The one who really needs this gold is me, the one living this miserable life.
And the narrative is blunt about his decision. I won't even pass by that place where I agreed with the bird. I'll go home and take all this bag of gold for myself.
And he does it. Just like that.
Just like that. Betrays the bird instantly, walks away with the whole bag.
Wow. So this really brings up a big question, doesn't it? For us, for you listening. How easily do we justify things that serve our immediate self-interest? Especially when there's a big temptation, like a bag of gold.
It's a really common human thing, isn't it? To prioritize that immediate gain over long-term integrity, or even just honoring a simple promise.
Yeah, that slippery slope of self-deception. We can talk ourselves out of almost anything.
The woodcutter's choice here isn't just a plot point, it's a stark illustration of that. And it's a profound first lesson setting up this pattern for the rest of the story.
Right. The king's happy, the woodcutter thinks he's won, but a moral line has definitely been crossed.
And that seed of disloyalty, the very thing the bird warned the king about in the kingdom's atmosphere,
Wow.
it seems to have taken root right inside the woodcutter himself.
Huh. Like the atmosphere influenced him directly.
It certainly hints at that, doesn't it? How easily those external conditions might sway even our most basic choices. Okay, moving into section 2. The dagger's shadow, a looming threat.
Okay, so time passes. And, like you often see in these kinds of stories, especially when destiny seems involved, the king has another dream.
Predictable, almost. Another nightmare, really. But this one's even more unsettling, more personal.
How so?
He's on his throne again, same room. But this time, he looks up and is genuinely startled, shocked.
What does he see?
A huge, sharply pointed dagger, just hovering there, ominously, in the air, hanging directly over his head.
Yikes, that's intense. Talk about immediate danger.
Very visceral, very unsettling image, a direct threat to his life. He wakes up deeply shaken, really disturbed by how intense it was.
So does he call the gurus again? Or has he learned his lesson?
He's learned. This time, no grand proclamation, no wasting time on the gurus and diviners. He asks around, but nobody has a reasonable explanation. So he cuts straight to the chase, swift decision. His command is direct. Don't even bother with a proclamation. Go directly to that woodcutter's house. He's good. He knows how to decipher dreams.
Wow, so the king now has complete faith in this guy. Total dependence.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And when the soldiers get to the woodcutter's place, it's noticeably much more comfortable now.
Ah, that first bag of gold definitely made a difference. Upgraded his lifestyle.
Quite significantly. Elevated him from total destitution. His external situation has improved dramatically.
But his internal situation, his moral problem,
He's
it's about to get worse, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's only just beginning. When he sees those soldiers at his door, his first thought is pure terror.
Like they found out.
Exactly. Now I'm dead. There's no way out. He's groaning. My God, what do I do now?
And the soldiers aren't exactly there for a friendly chat, I assume.
Not at all. They deliver a stark threat. Refusing the king is punishable by death. No escape. Obey or die.
Man. Caught between a rock and a very sharp dagger, you might say.
Huh? Exactly. The woodcutter, totally desperate, asks for a day to reflect on the dream. Promises he'll come to the palace tomorrow.
Buying time.
Buys him little time. But he knows exactly where he needs to go. Instinctively.
Back to the forest, back to the bird.
Yep. He heads off, utterly disconsolate, to that same spot where he met the bird. Sits on the same log and just starts lamenting his terrible fate.
And does the bird show up again?
It does. True to its enigmatic nature, it reappears. And now we see the woodcutter try to apologize. The story calls it sincere.
Okay, what does he say?
He calls the bird, "My dear good bird." It admits, "I know I wasn't honest with you."
But is the bird buying it this time? After being cheated?
Well, the bird is sharp, perceptive. It doesn't just accept some vague apology. It cuts right to the issue.
Which is?
If I tell you this dream now, will you divide this reward with me? Because now, the bird points out, it's 2 bags of gold.
Upping the ante. Testing him again. The stakes are much higher now.
Exactly. Testing his resolve, his true intention.
So what does the woodcutter do? He's facing death if he fails.
He makes a renewed promise. Seems heartfelt, maybe. "You can count on it. Don't worry. Now I will divide."
Sincere promise, or just intense fear talking?
Hard to say for sure, right?
Yeah.
But there's definitely a new urgency. He's cornered.
So the bird tells him the meaning of the dagger.
It does it. The interpretation. The dagger means violence. This dream represents that the atmosphere of the kingdom, the very air, is impregnated with violence.
Wow, another heavy one. Violence in the air itself.
Yeah. Tells him the king should beware because violence surrounds him on all sides.
Another chillingly accurate interpretation, seems like. Especially since this one points to a direct threat to the king's life.
Exactly. Resonates even more deeply with the king. So the woodcutter, more than happy, relieved probably, races to the palace.
And the king?
Even happier this time. Because the dream pointed to a grave risk to his own life. And now he understands the threat. He immediately rewards the woodcutter.
Let me guess. 2 bags of gold.
2 bags of gold. Wow. And this. This is where the woodcutter's resentment, his greed, just explodes. It becomes glaringly obvious.
Oh no. What happens now? He's got the gold.
On his way home, carrying those 2 bags, his internal monologue turns really venomous. Just warped logic, pure entitlement.
What's he thinking?
This bird is taking advantage of me. What an absurdity. This bird is making a fool of me.
Wait, he's making a fool of the bird.
Exactly. Total projection. He continues, "I'm the one who comes here, talks to the king, carries the gold. He does nothing. He uses me to profit at my expense."
Wow. Wow. He's completely rationalizing his next move, isn't he? Blaming the bird for his own deceit.
Totally. Projecting his own failings onto his benefactor. And this twisted thinking leads directly to, well, an act of violence.
No, what does he do?
He goes to their meeting spot, but this time, he hides a stone behind his back.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. When the bird lands, he takes advantage of the moment and puff, throws the stone at the bird.
Did he hit it?
Thankfully, the bird is described as very clever. Flies away quickly. The stone just grazes it.
Close call.
Very close. And the woodcutter, he goes home very happy with his gold, having almost committed attempted murder.
Man, this section really makes you face some uncomfortable truths about people, doesn't it?
It really does.
You see how greed, when it's not checked, can just escalate like crazy. Started with a broken promise.
The simple deceit.
And spiraled into trying to physically harm the one who helped him.
Yeah. What does it say about us when we rationalize bad behavior so much that we end up blaming the victim, even the victim of our own wrongdoing?
Makes you wonder, is there a point of no return for trust? Especially when someone repeatedly lies and then tries to hurt you.
It powerfully shows that corrosive effect of unchecked self-interest. how moral boundaries can just crumble when someone consistently chooses gain and self-deception over basic integrity.
The pattern is becoming clearer now, isn't it? The external influence, the internal reaction, it's building towards something.
Definitely. Building towards that climactic third dream, which is where the story's deepest wisdom finally comes out. Okay, section 3. The Lambs of Purity, a transformative shift.
Okay, so predictably, the king has another dream.
We're kind of expecting it by now, right? The cycle continues.
Exactly. But this time, the vision is totally different. A complete contrast to the first two, which were all about threat and unease.
How so? What does he see this time?
He's in the throne room again, sitting comfortably, but now he sees a flock of little white lambs.
Lambs?
Yeah, little white lambs entering the room, running, jumping playfully back and forth.
Wow, that's a huge shift. Pastoral, calming, innocent, after a fox and a dagger.
Exactly. A truly idyllic, reassuring image, especially given his previous nightmares.
So his reaction waking up must be different too.
Markedly different. He doesn't even bother asking anyone else for opinions. He just declares, don't call anyone, I don't want to hear anyone's opinion. Go straight to that fella's house.
Straight back to the woodcutter.
Yeah. He says it's a waste of time. No one understands dreams in this kingdom, only that fellow. His faith is absolute now, almost blind faith, considering what we know happened.
Right. We know the woodcutter tried to kill the bird, but the king doesn't.
So the soldiers arrive again at the woodcutter's now even more comfortable, maybe even opulent house.
And the woodcutter's first thought when he sees them.
Pure dread. Now I'm dead. There's absolutely no way out. He's not even thinking about the dream itself. His mind goes straight to the bird he tried to stone.
He knows he crossed a line, a serious one. The chickens have come home to roost, as they say.
His fear must be overwhelming.
Palpable. He's totally despondent, disconsolate. He repeats his request, asks for a day to prepare.
Buys himself another day.
Yep, and heads back to that log in the forest. But this time, his whole demeanor is different. He cries and moans and curses his fate.
This sounds different from before, not just frustration, but real despair.
It feels like it. This isn't just about losing gold anymore. It's about facing the ultimate consequences. He knows he alienated the only being who could possibly save him from the king's potential wrath.
And this is where the story really turns, isn't it? The big transformation.
Absolute pivotal moment, because the bird, remarkably, returns.
Even after he tried to kill it. Wow.
Incredible, right? And it asks, with this calm neutrality that just contrasts so sharply with the woodcutter's panic, what happened? The king had another dream.
And the woodcutter's apology this time, is it different?
Feels distinctly different. Described as genuinely sincere. He says, I'm ashamed of what I did to you. Now my life is truly at stake. I wanted to know if you forgive me.
That sounds less like just trying to get help out of fear, more like a real confession, an admission of how bad his actions were.
It feels that way. Driven by desperate fear for his life, sure, but maybe finally also a flicker of true, unadulterated remorse. A real sense of shame.
So the bird tests him again. Does it ask about the gold?
It does. Ever the pragmatist, but maybe with a different weight now. Will you divide the reward with me now?
And the woodcutter's promise.
Equally sincere this time, it seems. Carries a seriousness the others lacked. Yes, you can be sure, now I'm serious, now I will divide the reward with you. There's this tangible shift. He recognizes he went way too far. His survival depends on this bird's mercy. This promise feels real.
Okay. So with this renewed, seemingly genuine promise, the bird gives the final interpretation. What did the lambs mean?
It states that the lambs running back and forth represent purity. That now the atmosphere of the kingdom is impregnated with purity.
Purity. Wow, complete turnaround.
Total turnaround. Therefore, the king can be very calm, he's not at risk, and now everything is very pure, he is safe. This is the good news the king's been desperately waiting for. Peace after all that danger.
The woodcutter must be ecstatic. Pure relief.
Filled with genuine joy, immense relief, practically flies to the palace with the good news.
And the king, he must be over the moon.
Immensely happy. Even more content because, finally, the news is profoundly positive and reassuring. And following the pattern.
He gets rewarded again. How much this time?
3 bags of gold. The culmination of the king's trust and the bird's wisdom.
Okay. And here is the crucial turning point. The big emotional shift for the woodcutter himself. What happens on the way home this time?
This time, with those 3 bags of gold, he is described as sincerely repentant.
Sincerely, that's the key word.
Absolutely. His thoughts are raw, honest, Oh, but how dishonest I was with this bird. He gave me everything I have, and I betrayed him. I deceived him. Look what I did. Oh, dear, how absurd, how ashamed I am of myself.
That doesn't sound like fear talking anymore. That sounds like genuine shame, a real internal shift, a reckoning.
It feels like a profound realization of his moral failings. And this deep remorse leads directly to his honest act.
What does he do?
He goes straight to their meeting point, and he places the bags of gold as had been promised, fulfills his end of the bargain completely.
Wow, he actually does it.
He does. The bird comes, and the woodcutter, now humbled, genuinely humble, says, look, I'm sorry. I want you to honestly forgive me. Here's what I owe you.
The gold from this time.
Yes, and he says, and I'll bring you more of what I still owed you from the other 2 times.
Whoa. Back payments.
Back payments. He asks, do you forgive me because I truly played a deplorable role? It's a full admission of guilt and act of restitution, and this heartfelt plea for redemption.
That moment, it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? What does it actually take for true repentance?
Right. Is it only when you're facing dire, life-threatening consequences? Or can genuine change, that kind of deep internal transformation, really come from within?
Maybe it was the bird's grace. Or maybe, like the story keeps hinting, the changing atmosphere itself finally allowed it?
It raises that fascinating question. How does our environment, that atmosphere of the kingdom, shape our actual capacity for purity or honesty?
It feels like a powerful shift from behavior driven purely by external fear to something born of internal shame and this deep desire to make things right.
It really signifies that pivot from just reactive behavior to genuine introspection, self-awareness, showing that even those deep patterns of self-interest can, under maybe extreme pressure or maybe just a fundamental shift in perspective, give way to a different inner truth.
And it's right here in this final, really extraordinary interaction that the bird drops the big wisdom bomb, right? Reveals the core message.
Exactly. This is where it all comes together. Section 4. The bird's profound wisdom beyond the atmosphere.
Okay, this is it. The big payoff. The woodcutter has poured out his heart, confessed, offered repentance, offered the gold. What does the bird say?
Its response is calm, insightful, and completely unexpected. It simply says, no, you don't have to apologize to me. I never expected you to do anything different from what you did.
Wait, what? Never expected him to do anything different, even the betrayal, even the violence.
Exactly. Just pause on that. This wise, knowing creature. It saw it all coming from the very start.
Mind blown. Okay, so why? What's the explanation?
This is the central revelation, the truth underlying the whole story. The bird explains, with crystal clarity, you are a product of the atmosphere of the kingdom.
A product of the atmosphere.
Yeah, and then it breaks down each dream, connecting the woodcutter's actions directly to those invisible forces within the kingdom.
How does it connect them?
In the first moment, the bird says, talking about the fox dream, the air of the kingdom was impregnated with treason. What did you do? You betrayed me. You couldn't have done otherwise.
Couldn't have done otherwise? That sounds almost deterministic, like he had no choice.
It suggests this incredibly profound link between the collective environment and individual behavior, almost like the atmosphere compelled the action.
Wow. Okay. And the second dream, the dagger.
The second time, the atmosphere of the kingdom was impregnated with violence. And what did the woodcutter do then, feeling resentful? You, who are a fruit of that atmosphere, were violent with me. It couldn't have been different.
So the bird didn't see him as just inherently evil in those moments, but more like a reflection, an embodiment of the kingdom state.
Precisely. Like he was acting out the prevailing energy, that undercurrent.
And the third dream, the lambs.
Now that there is purity in the air, the bird concludes, you are pure.
So his shifts, betrayal, violence, purity weren't necessarily radical changes in his core character, but him just mirroring the atmosphere around him?
That's the stark, almost clinical yet deeply profound assessment the bird offers. It highlights human susceptibility to environmental influence. And then, beautifully, the bird dismisses the gold.
Doesn't even want it after all that.
Nope. Says, despite all the gold you have, I do not need gold. Emphasizing its purpose wasn't gain, but imparting this wisdom, a lesson far beyond material wealth.
Which leads to the bird's big philosophical statement, right? The core message of the story.
Exactly. The absolute heart of the Panchatantra's message here. Few men in humanity are capable of being faithful to themselves regardless of the atmosphere around them.
Few men, wow.
And the bird explicitly tells the woodcutter. And I never expected you to be one of those.
Ouch, but also maybe just realistic.
It's not presented as a judgment, really. more a recognition of an extraordinarily rare quality, a truth about human nature.
So the wisdom of the story, like the source says, it kind of dispenses with explanations because it just says everything.
In its simplicity, yeah. It speaks directly to that deep idea of individuality that we work so much on in philosophy. This story contrasts the woodcutter, the product of the environment, with the ideal of a person who is a product of himself and not of the environment.
Okay, product of himself, not the environment. What does that really mean? Does it connect to that idea of the collective unconscious the source mentions?
It does, yeah. So the collective unconscious, for anyone listening, is this idea of a deeper layer of unconscious mind shared by everyone, filled with universal patterns, archetypes, instincts, stuff we inherit mentally, not learn personally.
Right.
When the bird implies someone doesn't unconsciously capture and execute a command from it, it means they aren't just acting out those shared, often unexamined societal or cultural patterns. They aren't just following the script.
Got it. So this rare individual, the one the bird describes, they're beyond mass programming.
Exactly. They're not just the executor of that massified programming of what everyone is, of what everyone does. Think about it today. They're not just reflecting trends, whether it's fashion, opinions, politics.
They're not just echoing the dominant mood or societal pressure.
Precisely. They stand apart. Their actions come from an internal compass, not an external one.
That's a powerful difference. And these individuals, the ones capable of being faithful to their principles, their values, regardless of what the atmosphere of the kingdom dictates, they're very rare.
Very rare, according to the bird. And precious. More precious than any bag of gold. But the story ends on that sobering note. Such people are, unfortunately, very difficult to find.
Beacons of self-determination, walking their own path no matter what.
Exactly. And this, I think, is where the story's deepest power hits us today. Right now.
How so?
It forces us to ask, are we truly acting on our own principles? Or are we, maybe unconsciously, just mirroring the mood, the expectations, the atmosphere around us?
What does it mean to be a product of the environment versus a product of oneself? It makes you look inward, really assess your own agency.
Are we just floating along on those currents of the collective unconscious, absorbing the vibe from work or social circles or the media?
Or are we actively charting our own course based on our own internal compass?
It's a fundamental challenge to how much autonomy we think we have. Are our actions genuinely ours? Or are we just reflecting what the current atmosphere dictates? It's an invitation to cultivate that rare, precious thing, true individuality.
Okay, let's wrap this up. So what does this all mean for us? We've followed the king's dreams, the woodcutter's roller coaster journey, poverty, wealth, deceit, repentance. But the real deep dive, as that wise bird showed us, was into human will and the massive power of external influence. The story strongly suggests our actions often just reflect the atmosphere of the kingdom.
Whether that atmosphere is treason or violence or purity.
It's a really profound thought, and it challenges us directly, leaving us with this crucial question. Are we ourselves truly above the atmosphere of the kingdom?
Yeah. Are we genuinely capable of being faithful to ourselves, independent of what the mass, the environment commands, independent of what fashion imposes, independent of what general expectation places upon us?
And that's not just some abstract philosophical idea, right? It's a daily choice, a lived reality.
Every day, what will you choose today? Be a reflection of the prevailing atmosphere, letting it dictate your actions, your values.
Or try to be faithful to your own principles, your inner compass, regardless of what that atmosphere is pushing.
It makes you think about your own life, doesn't it? Your workplace, your community, even your online interactions. What atmosphere are you absorbing? Maybe without realizing it.
And maybe even more importantly, what atmosphere are you putting out there, consciously or unconsciously?
This powerful story leaves us with that reminder. True individuality, that deep ability to stay true to yourself amidst all the external pressures. It's rare. It's precious.
Yeah. Not just something to admire from afar, but something to actively strive for, to cultivate in ourselves and really cherish, more than gold even.
Definitely more than gold.
Until next time, keep diving deep into the fascinating questions that shape our understanding of ourselves and this complex world we navigate.